My name is Sebastian. This is the January 2021 mailbag video. A bit late, but I've had a lot of work and a few family issues. I'll be making more time in the coming months. Today we're unpacking this anonymous donation of a few beautiful small subway maps, all from Europe. We have one from Brussels, one from London, 2 from Berlin and 3 from Paris. First up is this map from Brussels. It's a rather primitive looking map with big blobs, almost a technical schematic. There are 4 lines on this map, but only one of them is a full metro. The other 3 are so-called pre-metros, or basically tram lines. And they are also not fully on this map as they don't seem to have any termini. Only Metro Line 1 is fully on the map. The map is poorly printed with a lot of color bleeding. The back contains a lot of information of facilities per station, and that is quite complete. And I have to say, I do like the logo. Next up is the London Underground map, a classic, of which I have too few. This one is a first edition from 1973 and in a good state. Interesting how the grid forms rectangles instead of squares along the left and right edges. This version of the tube map was designed by Paul E. Garbett, as is clearly stated on the front. Also clearly marked on the map is the closing of Strand Station, which was closed for integration of the Jubilee line into Charing Cross Station in the 70s. Further along the map we can find other signs of the times as the Hammersmith and City line did not exist yet. Next up are the 2 Berlin maps from 1982 and 1984, so from before the fall of the Berlin Wall. Also on these maps are the U-Bahns in East Berlin, marked in black lines. The unique situation of Berlin or West Berlin meant that some of the subway lines had inaccessible stations as the trains rattled through East Berlin to other parts of West Berlin. Also note how the print from 1984 is more refined. The 1982 version had thick lines, big numbers, and just wasn't very subtle. The 1984 version also shows the S-Bahn, the local train services, and a clear connection to Friedrichstraße station, a border crossing but also a transfer point in East Berlin. I want to delve a bit deeper into the history of Berlin's public transportation in a future video. Side note, apparently the Berliner Verkehrsbetriebe had a logo change between 82 and 84. Next up is these 3 maps from Paris, starting with the 1987 version, the newest of the bunch. Due to the size of the map and the use of black outlines, the map is actually very difficult to read. Letters of stations disappear in the deep pink of the grid lines or are squeezed up against subway lines. It's a bit of a mess, really. Outside of that, the colors are well defined and the map also features the Areare lines A, B and C. The back of the map features an interesting network map of the Areare lines in what to me looks like a night services map, but I believe these are regular day services. Next is the 1980 version of the map. Gone are the black outlines and the map is more zoomed into the center of Paris, as some lines weren't extended yet. Although here too we see a lot of station labels straddle subway lines, making them a bit harder to read, although the type is slightly larger than the 87 version. And the grid lines are fewer and more subtle. There is also an earlier version of the Areare map, this time in a more traditional color scheme, along with a bus map, which was gone from the 1987 version. I do like the sugar-coated colors though. Finally, let's look at the oldest of the triplets. This map is undated and about 4 times as large as the 1980 and 87 maps. It's also a geographic map instead of a schematic one. The map only features the metro, but also landmarks, city blocks and major streets. Line 14 on this map is the current day line 13, and because the stations Bienvenue and Gare Montparnasse are not mentioned as Montparnasse Bienvenue, one can assume the map may predate 1942, the year the 2 stations were connected, although the arrows may mean they were connected. Who knows? It's an interesting map with clearly 2 layers, the metro and the streets above and below. I just love the detail in this map. Subway maps seem lacking in that regard nowadays, But too much information is also a possibility, a risk. However, this map seems to balance the two nicely despite its age. Interesting note, the back of the map features information in 4 languages. French, of course, English, German, and Italian. That's it for this mailbag. Thank you for watching. I hope to release videos a bit more frequently the coming months, and it helps me to know if you like these videos and what else you'd like to see. If you possess maps you want me to take a look at, see the About tab for more information. Subscribe to see more videos on maps, both real and fictional, our world, and more. See you soon.